Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and I'm gonna try something new today. So I'm gonna try the best star cards to use in Battlefront 2. So a little disclaimer first of all is I don't have all the star cards unlocked because I'm new to PlayStation, so I've had to use my Xbox, but some of them, as I don't have them unlocked, I'm just gonna have to tell you the name of them whilst reading it from another page that I've got somewhere else. Okay, so alright, so let's get into it then. So first off, we've got Boba Fett, and the cards that I use for Boba. Oh yeah, by the way, Master Grievous has helped me out of this as well. So okay, so Boba Fett. The cards that we use for Boba Fett is Fuel Efficiency, Born to Fly, and Accurate Concussion. Okay, so they're what we use for Boba Fett. Now next on to Bosk. For Bosk, we use Name Your Poison, Predator Resilience, and Multi-Traps. That's what we use for Bosk. Okay. Now it's Chewbacca. Okay. Oh, everyone's favorite Wookiee. Okay, so what we use for Chewbacca is bonus health, shocked and vulnerable, and extended shock. Shocked and vulnerable is one card. So we've got bonus health, then we've got shocked and vulnerable, and then we've got extended shock for Chewbacca. Okay, so that's Chewbacca done. Next is the most overpowered character in. So I actually have all the cards for Darth Vader, and I mean, let's be honest, Darth Vader's kind of an obvious one, but here we go anyway. Furious Resilience, bonus health, and punishing grip. However, punishing grip, and there is no escape, are just both really good, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. But personally, I prefer to use punishing grip, but you know, you might prefer to use there is no escape. You know, just depends which one suits your playstyle, but I definitely recommend bonus health and Furious Resilience. It just makes like the most overpowered character even more powerful than he has to be, so you know. So next up anyway is the Emperor of the Universe, Darth Sidious, Palpatine, whatever you want to call him. So anyway, for Emperor Palpatine, Lightning Reach, the Rule of Two, and Forked Lightning is what's best to be used for Palpatine. So there's the star cards. Okay. So next up is Han Solo. For Han Solo, I use Broad Shoulders, I use Big Bang, and I use Smuggler's Wits. So now I'm not the best Han Solo player ever, but you know, these are the cards that I use for Han Solo. So okay, and next is my main in this game, Iden Versio. So for Iden, I use Alternative Methods, Droid Batteries, and Cooled Blaster. So these are definitely the best ones in the game. However, Shock Reach can be quite decent to use. I sometimes use Shock Reach, and if you're going to be like playing for co-op or something, I'd probably recommend Sturdy Shield, and the Pulse Cannon could be a good one for co-op if you're good at sniping. Though personally, I'm not very good with my accuracy, so I don't really use that one for Iden. Okay, so next up is Kylo Ren, and for Kylo Ren, I use Resilience, Closing In, and Berserking Tantrum. So they're the cards I use for Kylo Ren. So as you can see, I've got all the cards unlocked for Kylo Ren. So you know, I do play Kylo quite a bit. So okay, who's next? Okay, Lando Calrissian is next, and for Lando, my friend uses Hot and Cold, Quick Shock, and Wide Eyed. Okay, So they're the cards for Lando Calrissian. Lemian Falk. Well, actually, no, it was more of a gambler than a smuggler, but you know. Okay, so next up is Leia Organa. Now, again, Leia is, again, one that I use often, but I'm not the greatest of Leia, so I've took my friend's advice on this one, and he uses Rebel Heart, Stay Together, and Relentless Firing. Okay, so next, that's for Leia. So next up is someone that I do use, everyone's favorite Jedi from the originals. Well, so unless you're a massive Obi-Wan or Yoda fan, which I'm a massive Obi-Wan fan. But anyway, is Luke Skywalker. Don't really know what's going on there, but anyway, what I use for Luke is Intensify. I use Stronger Push, and I use Jedi Reflexes. Okay, so that's Intensify, Stronger Push, and Jedi Reflexes. Okay, Darth Maul. Now again, I don't use Darth Maul too much because I suck as Maul, but you know, I use him when I have to. So okay, so Maul, the cards for Maul are Lightsaber Defense, Flow Motion, and Accelerated Throw. So next up is everyone's favorite Skywalker. That's a lie, everyone hates Rey. But yes, it's Rey. Palpatine is up next. I don't care what she says, it's Palpatine. So I use for Rey Balance, Street Fighter, and the Damaging Strike. So they're the cards I use for Rey. Okay. So Yoda, I am absolutely garbage with Yoda, so I am not taking up my idea of cards. I'm going to take up my friend's idea of cards again. And he uses Opposing the Dark Side, Jedi Mentor, and Feel the Force. So that's what you should use for Yoda. Okay, so what's up next? Next is Finn, the Stormtrooper turned Resistance Fighter. Finn. Okay, so for Finn is In Charge, No More Running, and 1 Resistance. So they're the cards for Finn. And the next is probably the person Finn hates. I'm a bigger sequel expert, but you know, I don't know, I'd call it the person Finn hates most is Captain Phasma. Again, I am absolutely garbage with Captain Phasma, so sorry about that, guys. I'm not the best Battlefront 2 player, so that's why there's a bit of an issue with some of the cards here. So, is Safety First, there's no escape, and Not Hard Enough. So they're the ones for Captain. Sorry, sorry about that. Well, next up is sorry, I don't know what's came over to me. I think I've turned into the next one. But next up is General Grievous, the coughing monstrosity himself. May need an inhaler, Grievous, but anyway. Grievous, I use Beating Heart, Sith Trained, and Flesh is Weak. Now, Flesh is Weak is probably the most overpowered card in the game, so when you're in like Showdown or a 1v1, I use Jedi Killer. So this one allows you to target enemies from further away, but don't use this one unless you're in a 1v1. If you're not in a 1v1, you're in like villains or something, or you just want to be overpowered, use Flesh is Weak. Okay, next up is Obi-Wan Kenobi, my favorite character in Star Wars besides Revan. Maybe Qui-Gon. Anyway, I use Jedi Resilience, Perfect Defense, and Forward. Okay, so that's what I use for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So for Count Dooku, I use Count Dooku, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Tyrannus. One of the best Sith names I've ever heard, actually, but okay. Sith Control is what I use for him. Fancy and Blind Spot. However, sometimes I like to use Masterful Duelist. So if you were using Masterful Duelist, I'd swap that out for Blind Spot. However, it's entirely your choice. Both of them are pretty good. Okay, so next up is Anakin Skywalker, So for Anakin, I use Tenacious, I use Massive Strikes, and I use Steamroll. So they're the cards I use for the Chosen One himself. Okay, next up is someone I never play as, which is BB-8. So again, my friends recommend these ones. So for BB-8, use Self-Repairs, Whirlwind, and Undercover. So they're the cards to use for BB-8. And now last, but still this is certainly the least, the worst character in the game, BB-9E. And I'm so sorry if I offended someone by saying that, but it's just the truth. Come on. BB-9E is not that great of a character in this game. I mean, let's be honest. He's weak. We should have got Ahsoka and Ventress instead of him, to be honest. BB-8 as well, we shouldn't have really had BB-8, but that's just me. Okay, so for BB-9E, use Full Reconstruction, Hearty Exhaust, and Linked System. Okay, so they're the ones I use for BB-9E. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video of the star cards I'd recommend. It's been one that was recommended to me by Darth Anakin, and I had a lot of help in this video from Master Grievous, who I'll link his channel in the description. So I'd really appreciate if you went and subscribed to Master Grievous's channel. And yeah, I hope this star card list helps you out a lot, and if so, remember to share it with your friends if they're interested in it. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, guys. So I'll speak to you next time, maybe on my live stream, I don't know, whenever really, but yeah, may the Force be with you always.